you the duration of the practice and then ask to unmute you at the end so we can close this space. So stay in a seated position if you can, but if you feel like you need to lie down, it's perfectly fine. So closing the eyes, elongate your spine, and begin settling in your body. So feel your body in space, how the weight is distributed, what your core muscles are doing, trying to keep you upright. And try to soften, release any tightness where no engagement is required. So you can relax your jaw, your face, your forehead. And give yourself permission to relax, to connect, to just be. And feel your breath, sensing how each breath is a little different from the last one. Noticing where exactly you can feel it in the body. And check in with your thoughts. Just check in with yourself, how you're feeling today. And simply allow yourself to be. I'd say that meditation is probably a little bit more accessible in the morning because you haven't cluttered your mind with all the, all the stuff that you have to do, like during the day, at work, etc. Whereas in the evening, it seems like you carry this baggage of the day. Nonetheless, wherever you are, if someone tells you to sit down and empty your mind when you've got all of these things to do, it can be really frustrating. So now we're going to go down from 10 to 1, focusing our attention on the breath. So inhale 10 and exhale 10. So quietly in your head, inhale 9, exhale 9. Breathe in. Breathe out 8. In for 7. Out for 7. Breathe in for 6. Breathe out for 6. And follow the next 5 breaths at your own pace, honing your attention on the breath by following the count. And one more deep breath in. And a slow breath out. Keeping your eyes closed, allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm without putting any effort to deepen or lengthen it. Just simply allow it to be as it is and notice its rhythm. Notice any patterns. And notice if this technique was beneficial in any way. Just if you shift or sole, like focal point of your awareness on your breath, it's surprising how much it can help you, like detach from any to-do lists or anything that you've been up to. Okay, then open your eyes, bring the shoulders up towards your ears, and then draw them back and down. So twice more. Try to go outside of the comfort zone of the shoulder girdle, of the shoulder joint, so you can bring some fresh energy through the stretch into this area. And then switch direction. And just notice how that feels. Don't do anything that feels a little bit too taxing for the shoulder, whilst bringing some kind of deeper awareness to this area. And then extend your arms out. And what we're going to do is, as you inhale, you bring the right shoulder in. So finding that tilt forward whilst rotating the left shoulder back. And then you switch. So you can tilt your head if that helps. Bringing your right shoulder forward, left one back, and then switching. So focusing on the engagement in the rotator cuff muscles that help to facilitate this movement. And through that, building some stability through the shoulders. So keep going. See if each time you can go a little bit further within reason. Maybe it feels good to tip the head. Maybe you want to stay in one position and bring the chin down. So work with your own pace, your own breath, just a couple more times. And then come back to the center. All right, shake your arms out. Then bring the right fingertips out to the side. We're going to come into a lateral stretch, but I want you to focus on the deep core engagement. So we're not like pushing the chest out, we're not collapsing here, but you corset the ribs in and you draw your lower belly in so the navel goes close to the spine. Then inhaling, sweep the floor to bring the left arm up to find external rotation of the shoulder. And then if it feels good, you can lean side, finding that engagement. So you're both hips are rooted down, but you open through the left side of the body. So look up, in front of you or down, whatever feels good for the neck. Maybe if you want to, you can bend your right arm, making sure that both sits bones are down. And then with an inhale, come back to the center. We're switching sides. Left fingertips down, corset your ribs. Inhale, right arm over the head. And then slowly begin to open through the right side of the body. And just breathe. Right arm is straight, the bicep is by your ear. That's it. Keep reaching the right hand away. So as though the spaces between the ribs could open up as you breathe in. And then inhale, come back to the center. Okay. So we're going to do my favorite, Rosie and Jack. I'm sure that you're going to appreciate it. The other guys know it. Extend your legs out wide. So don't go to your maximum like V shape because it will be harder to lift the legs. Lift your spine out of the pelvis and draw your lower belly in. So then turn towards the left leg and stay on the fingertips. So you will find it that by pressing down, it will be easier to lift the legs. So then as you inhale without thinking too much, lift the left leg up as you can. Exhale, bring it down. Breathe in, up. Exhale, down. So whilst you want to try to keep the back straight, you can tilt your pelvis back so that you can engage the lower abs. So 3 more times, in and out. Breathe in, I know it's burning, and exhale. And then inhale, lift up and hold for 1. You don't know how long I'm counting. For 2, keep it straight. For 3, you can do it, you're doing great. and bring it down. So give your leg a little shake, a little rub. Always gets me. So let's do the other side. Oh, I can feel it still. Okay, so point your toes, turn towards the leg, fingertips are on your side, and inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring it down. Notice if it's easier or harder on this side. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, smile. Exhale. 2 more. Breathe in and breathe out. You know what's coming. Inhale, lift it up and stay. Keep the legs straight. Feel the burn. Just sensations. You get stronger with every breath. And exhale, release it. Well done. Thank you, legs. Now bring the soles of the feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana, or the butterfly pose. So the closer you keep the heels to your pubis, the more you target the muscles of the inner thigh and sartorius. That's the muscle that's particularly active in this position, and it's also very tight. Apparently in Latin, it means, is it tailor? Because apparently back in the day, tailors used to sit on the ground like this, hence the name for that muscle. Anyway, so if you keep the feet a bit further apart, you're targeting your hamstrings. So just see what works for you. I know that my sartorius is particularly and chronically tight, so I try to stay in a tighter shape. So your knees will probably lift. You can sit on the edge of a block if you want to, or just stay right here. So you can grab hold of your ankles or your feet so that you can very gently press the elbows into the thighs as though you wanted to push them towards the mat, and at the same time push the thighs into your elbows. So the muscles I just mentioned, they're in the lengthened position, but this engagement causes their activation. So that's the eccentric contraction I mentioned on Tuesday. Try to keep the spine long and keep pressing. We're going to stay here for 3, for 2. Notice what you feel. For 1. And then release the engagement, and just using the strength of your hips and your legs, try to bring the knees closer towards the mat. Even if it doesn't seem like anything has changed, you're building the muscle memory. And holding onto the ankles just allows you to find a bit more engagement through the legs. Okay, now release, lean back, manually push the legs together and give yourself a nice little hug. It feels good after such a big external rotation just to squeeze the knees together. Okay, extend the legs out wide. This time you can go to your maximum shape, but we're going to flex the feet. So coming into Upavishta Konasana, so it's the seated wide angle fold. You want to press the back of the knees down, keep the chest long, drawing the lower belly in. As you exhale, you fold. So use the muscles of your core to bring yourself down. You can stay on the block, fingertips. You can come down onto your forearms. Or if you're feeling particularly open, you can grab hold of the outer edges of the feet and bring the forehead down. So we're going to stay here for 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, just 1 more, stay, and 1. Slowly walk yourself back up. Exhale here. Then hook the knees underneath, bring the legs in, and 1 more time. Give yourself a nice little squeeze and transition over onto your hands and knees. Make sure you've got some space in front of you. I'm going to come into Anahatasana, the puppy pose. Hips over the knees, walk your hands forward and drop your forehead down. If you want to stay on the fingertips to find a deeper opening through the shoulders, gently tuck your tailbone under. Your core is active, supporting the structure. 3, 2, and 1. Then walk yourself back up. And then slide your hips back for regular child's pose. Find some flexion through the spine, knees together. Squeeze your abs in and allow the back to lengthen. So just feel your body, feel your hips. And then inhale, extend your arms wide in front of you. And exhale, tuck your toes under and push yourself back into downward dog. So pedal the feet if you wish. Just feeling the back of the hips this time. Connecting to the shoulders. You can either stay here and just draw the chest further down, so finding an extension through the spine, or you can grab the outer edges of your sticky mat, so the hands are still the same like height, but holding onto the edges of the mat, and then you drag the chest down. Keep lifting the sits bones up, but feel the deep stretch through the chest. I'm gonna stay here for 3. Draw your lower belly in. 2. And 1. Bring the hands back to regular downward dog. And then walk your feet towards your hands, bearing weight in the hands if you can, feeling the strength. Exhale, fold over the legs. And just stay here for a moment. Bend your legs if you need to, clasp the opposite elbow, and allow your upper body to hang. Shake your head, yes, yes, no, no. We're still warming up. And just feeling, accepting, giving ourselves some time to open up. Then release your hands, bend your legs a lot if you need to, with your peace fingers. See if you can grab hold of your big toes. Inhale, weight length through the spine, so flat back, reaching out through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, you fold over the legs, elbows go out to the sides. Keep the shoulder blades away from your head. Maybe tilt your weight onto the balls of your feet, pushing the hips up. Just don't push too far. Feel what's right for you. And then inhale, straight spine. Exhale here, release the fingers. And then bring yourself up into standing. So come to the top of your mat. Tadasana Samastiti here. We're going to move into Surya Namaskar A. So 2 sun salutations just to build the heat and body through the breath. So hands at your heart. Settle, press down through the feet. Inhale up to extended mountain. And exhale, fold over the legs. Adapt the practice if you need. Inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. And exhale, step into down dog. Breathing in, roll over into plank. Feet together, push from the shoulders. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Engaging through the fingertips, squeezing your glutes, engaging your pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, lower down all the way onto your belly. Hands by your low ribs. Inhale into cobra, up dog. And with an exhale, transition into down dog. Walk, step or jump your feet towards your hands. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise up, sweeping your arms over the head. Exhale, hands at heart. Here we go again. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale into down dog. Inhale like a wave into plank. Exhale, maybe chaturanga, shoulders in line with the elbows. Breathe in, cobra or up dog. And exhale into down dog. We'll settle here for 3 breaths. Keep your Uddiyana Bandha, so the belly button is in. Breath is calm and steady. And then walk, step or jump, feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, long spine. Exhale, hands at heart. Breathe in, arms over the head, grab hold of your right wrist, and exhale, lean to the left. So press down through the right foot. Breathe in, come back to the center, switch your wrists, and exhale, go the other way. Inhale, back to the center. And this time, step your left foot long step back so that the heel aligns with the front one and the foot is 45 degrees out, preparing for warrior one. Rebend the front leg so the knee is over the ankle. Going to stay here, feeling the hips, feeling the fire burn. Press down strongly through the outer edge of the left foot. Bring the shoulders away from your ears. And then we transition into warrior two, so the front heel meets the arch of the back foot. So check how long your stance needs to be. Arms shoulder height. Make sure that the weight is spread evenly across the legs. And give yourself some time for the body to get used to the shape. Breathing slowly. Appreciating the moment as much as you can. Your gaze is set between the index and middle fingers. And then spin on the back heel, frame the front foot, step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. This time, step your right foot between the hands and drop your back heel, warrior one. So as you inhale, bend the front leg and reach your arms over the head. So 2 ways of coming into this pose. Stay with your breath. Notice what's present. Feel the different engagement and activation of the muscles in your groin, in the pelvis. And then with the next exhale, frame the foot, step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Point your right foot and lift it up into 3-legged dog. Press evenly through the hands. Keep your right hip closed and lift the right foot a bit higher. And then gentle pulses. So we're not kicking. We're trying to find the engagement through the hamstrings and the glutes to gently lift the foot a little bit higher. 4 and now 3, 2, and 1. And this time bring the knee towards the chest and lightly step it between the hands. Drop the back heel down for warrior two alignment. And with the front leg bent, inhale, rise up, opening your arms out like a proud peacock. So make sure the knee is pointing towards the pinky toe side of the foot. And just breathe. Your drishti, so your gaze over the hand, as though you're taking an aim. And one more time, exhale, windmill the hands down, step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Feet to hands. Exhale, fold. Breathe in, rise up, long spine. Exhale, hands at heart. So let's do it on the other side. Inhale, arms over the head, grab hold of your wrist. And exhale, lean. Doesn't matter which side, we're doing both. Inhale to the center, switch, and exhale. And breathe in to the center. And this time we step the right foot, long step back for warrior one. So you can always start with both legs straight if you want to find the right stance, and then re-bend the front leg. So the back foot 45 degrees out, external rotation of the shoulders, and sink low. Breathe into any areas where you feel tightness, maybe some density. And observe how your body is responding, what's happening. And transitioning into warrior two. Back foot is perpendicular, arms long reach into opposite directions. Take note of what's happening to your left knee and use your legs to press strongly into the ground. Engage your core, soften your face. And then windmill the hands down, step into plank, exhale chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend, and exhale into down dog. Then step the left foot between the hands, drop the back heel, and with the front leg bend, come up into warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. And breathe. As you exhale, hands down, step into down dog. Point your left foot and then lift it all the way up, three-legged dog. Be mindful of your space. Press evenly through the hands, find that external rotation of the shoulders. Your shoulder blades are wrapping around your body. Gentle pulses. Focus on rooting down through the right heel. And feel your body quivering and shaking. It's all good. Just a few more times. Keep reaching through the left leg. And then as you exhale, come into plank. Left knee to chest. Push from the shoulders so you can step the foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, settle. Notice what's present. Stay connected to your breath. And then windmill the hands down. Step into plank. And then drop your right forearm down, left forearm down. Push from the shoulders, dolphin plank. Squeeze your core. Press through the outer edges of your elbows and your thumbs. So hold it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop your hips down and your elbows are slightly in front of your shoulders. Moving into Sphinx. Roll the shoulders back and down so you can push the back of your heart forward. Press the tops of the feet down, shoulders away from your ears. Growing still, allow the breath to flow. Giving ourselves the time and creating the space for the body to organically open. Press down through the elbows. And then as you exhale, lower down, hands by your low ribs. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Long breath in. And exhale into down dog. So stay here or drop down into child's pose. This is our resting pose for 3 breaths. If you're in down dog, draw the lower belly in. Lift the hips up. And then step, walk or jump your feet towards your hands. Exhale, fold forward. Breathing in, rise up, open through the body, arms over the head. And exhale, hands at heart. And let's go. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale into down dog. Then inhale, right leg up, 3-legged dog. And hold it here. So feel the opening through the hips, through the back of your left leg. And then bend your right leg and roll the right hip out. So as though you're bringing the right foot towards the left bum cheek and looking from underneath the right armpit. The foot is relaxed. And notice how that feels. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. Close your hip. And exhale, step your right foot between the hands. Drop the back heel down. Inhale, warrior 1. Arms over the head. And exhale. Then inhale, switch to warrior 2. Exhale, descend. So feel the deeper opening through the hips. And then bring the right hand down. So you can bring the forearm down if you want to keep the openness between the shoulder and the ear. But if you've got that openness through the hips, you can bring the right hand down. And then sweeping the mat, bring the left arm over your head. So like we did at the beginning, so finding external rotation through the shoulder into side angle pose. Keep pushing down through the legs. Core is engaged. And then you can either stay here or drop your right shoulder underneath your right thigh. Maybe I'll switch so you can see. So you drop it down. So you can stay here if that's how much your hips allow you, or you can then internally rotate the arm to grab your thigh. So you like a pretzel. And then internal rotation the left arm, so you can bring the hands to touch. Press the shoulder into the knee, into the side of your right leg, and breathe. One more round of breath. And then gently unravel. Lift the back heel and walk the right foot slightly out towards the right edge of the mat. See if you can stay with the left knee lifted and prop yourself up with your hands. Shift your hips forward and back. So using the back foot to push you forward, but not lifting the hips up. You want to keep the hips low and just come forward and back. Just a couple more times. And then maybe you drop the left knee down. Keep squeezing the knee into the right arm. If you're happy here, stay. You can use a block or bolster to rest your forearms on, or just come down onto your elbows. Your body will instantly tell you whether this is the right option. So deep opening through the inner left thigh, the outer right hip, front of the left hip. But notice what else you can feel. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. And then inhale, walk yourself back up. Tuck your back toes, and then step your left foot outside of the left hand. So you're moving into Malasana, the garland pose. Feet 45 degrees out to find a deep hip flexion. So shuffle to find the right stance for you. If there's anything wrong with the knee, just don't do it. You can do a wild-legged child's pose or something that feels a bit more manageable. Bring the hands at your heart and push the elbows into the legs and squeeze the legs in. So like we did in Baddha Konasana at the beginning of the practice, we want to find that opposite traction here. So long spine, open chest, calm breath, and allow the body to get acquainted with this pose, with this shape and this engagement. Then bring the hands down and one leg at a time, step back into plank. Actually, you might feel quite nice. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale into down dog. Settle here for a moment. Notice the difference in how your legs feel, the hips. And then inhale, your left leg up, three-legged dog. Just for a moment, focus on grounding and opening through the back of the right leg. Then bend your left leg, left foot to right bum cheek, and then lift the left leg up. So we're peeking from underneath the left armpit, opening through the hip flexors and the left side of the body. Inhale back to three-legged dog. And exhale, step the foot between the hands, drop the back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale, settle. Inhale, transition into warrior two. And stay here for a moment. Then bring the left hand by the inner left foot and press the arm on the shoulder and the knee together, opening through the chest, stacking the shoulders if you can. Drop your hips low and either stay here or drop your left shoulder underneath the right calf, so you can use your left hand to help you tuck it under, and maybe you're happy here. If, however, you want to, you can wrap your arm around to grab hold of the top of the thigh, and if you've got that stability in the legs, you can lift the right hand off so the hands meet, then drop the hips down. Breathe fully. Hold your entire body in awareness. Just a couple more breaths. And then gently unravel your arms. Walk the left foot out and lift the back heel. So preparing for lizard. Keeping the hips low, shift forward and back. Take note of what action you feel is happening in the hips and the groin, what your natural tendency is. Does it feel okay to keep the left knee in by the shoulder, or do you instinctively want to open the knee out, as to create more space? So there is a time and place to do it all, but we need to keep the left knee in because this way you train the muscles to be strong by holding it in. Then if you want to drop down to your right knee, spine is long, and then check whether it feels appropriate to lower down all the way. So notice what's similar in the stretch on this side compared to the side we've done. What's different? Use your breath as an indicator. And also try to practice contentment that regardless of how deep you've gone, it's always good enough. Just a couple more breaths. Maybe you want to tuck your toes under and lift the back knee, staying on the forearms. And then walk your hands up and shift your right foot outside of the right hand and lower down into Malasana. I don't know if I'll be able to get out of it, but I can certainly be here for a while. And you can stay here, or if you want to work on binding, then from here you can use your left hand to grab hold of the outer right hip, not hip, ankle. The other heel, so left heel, can lift, because it's essentially you trying to facilitate this. It's not like things just magically happen, but you can just shift things a little bit. And then drop your right shoulder in as close to your knee so you can internally rotate the arm to wrap it around. So if you're happy here, then you can bring the left hand behind so the hands can meet, and then you can work on bringing both heels down. So then gently unravel. Let's try the other side. Just never force it. So grab hold of the outer left ankle, bring the left shoulder in, and see if this side wants to do this. You can always use a strap. Then bring the right arm behind your lower back, and maybe the hands meet. Just for a couple of breaths, try to be just okay, just as it is. Let go of any tension, and then release your hands. Bring them in front of you and slowly step into plank. So hold it here. Let's mobilize the muscles we have just taxed. It's all good. And then exhale, chaturanga, or go all the way down. Inhale into your back bend. And exhale, down dog. Now step the right foot between the hands, but spin so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Moving into Skandasana, bend your right leg, and you can keep the right heel down or lift it, flexing the left foot and the toes are pointing up. So if your Achilles tendon is quite tight, keep the heel off the mat, where everything's okay. You can keep it down and check how the right knee is feeling. You can stay on the fingertips. If your balance is okay, lift the hands off and notice what's going on. So it's usually the case that some people just find it super easy, and then, you know, there's the other side of the group that don't find it so great. So then you lift up and you transition over to the other side. So of course, use the hands for support, unless you're familiar with this and you know your body. And then maybe you want to rejiggle to keep both heels on the ground. Just a couple breaths here. And then we'll be switching from side to side, just working with the breath. Okay, so are you ready? Use the hands if you need to, or if you're comfortable, you can keep them lifted. So inhale, shift to the right, left foot is up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, right. And then exhale, down. Inhale up to the center and heel toe your feet together slightly. But keep them at 45 degrees out, moving into goddess pose. So drop your hips low, your ankles, no, your knees even. Don't know what's wrong with me today. Parts of body. Knees are facing the same way as your feet, and drop your hips low. So it's an intense groin stretch. But also tuck your tailbone under and gentle pulses. So we're all gonna have peachy bums. If you want to, you can extend the arms out over the head or just keep them on your hips. Just a few more bounces. And then settle. Hands on your knees, the thumbs are in, and then drop your right shoulder down. Notice where you can feel it, where your breath is directed. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right down. Inhale, up. Exhale, left. So then inhale, bring yourself back to the center and straighten the legs. Come to the top of your mat. Shake your legs out. Okay. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And exhale into down dog. And this time as you inhale, bring the right knee, place it behind your right wrist. Your left foot is going across the mat for pigeon. Slide your hips back and down. And check if the left leg is straight. You want your hips to be square. If you need to, you can slide something underneath your right hip to take some pressure off. And stay here for a moment. So notice where you feel perhaps intense stretch, where you feel the engagement, and open through the chest. So stay on the fingertips, lifting your spine out of your hips. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Push the chest forward so you're looking proud. Just a little bit more. Maybe you want to lift your hands off, interlace all fingers but index fingers, and come into a very gentle back bend. So that's intense for the muscles in the back line of your body. Arms are straight. And then exhale, release. Come down to your forearms or extend your arms. Drop the forehead down. Breathe into the back of your heart. Start lengthening your exhalation to calm your breathing. Notice any emotions, any feelings that rise up, any thoughts. And with the next breath in, slowly walk yourself back up. Slide onto your right bum cheek and sweep the left leg over. So you can place the ankle over the knee, both feet are flexed. And as you can see, there's a big gap there. So if you can relate, you can slide a block underneath or a cushion or anything. I don't tend to do it because I know that after a few breaths, my body's like, oh, it's okay. I know what's happening. It's just initially my outer hips are really like, oh no, I don't want to do this. So keeping the spine straight, both feet are flexed. Close your eyes and focus on the inner experience. becoming aware of all the inner works. Or if you want to, if it feels good, you can gently fold over the legs, support yourself with a bolster, or you can drop your hands down, so support with the elbows, support your head with the elbows. And talk to yourself. If you feel any intensity, just remind your body that everything's fine. It's okay to relax. And just start a dialogue. It's like your breath is the mediator. Then inhale slowly, bring yourself back up. And we're going to come into pigeon on the other side. So drop the left leg down and lean to the left so you can transition over. So it's not the most graceful transition, but it does the job. And be really mindful of how your left knee, your left side is feeling. Using your proprioception, so your body's in the perception of how it's positioned in space. Try to keep the right leg straight. Obviously, look over the shoulder if you wanted to double check. And shift your hips from side to side. Just notice how that little movement affects the stretch, the mobility. The foot is flat. That's it. And then walk your fingertips closer so you can extend through the spine, reach up through the crown of the head. So you're pushing down through the legs to find that extra lift. So using the strength in that lengthened position. And then maybe extend the arms out, palms face up, and then clench your fist, but the thumbs are extended. And then gentle pulses back to open through the shoulders and the chest. So squeeze the shoulder blades and the thumbs point back. Couple more breaths. And then come to the center and find the resting position in the sleeping pigeon that works for you. Maybe you notice that the layers of protective holding and this kind of tight gripping around your body begin to release the longer you stay in the pose. Or maybe that's not relatable today. It's fine simply noticing what's going on in the body. And breathing in, push back up, and then slide your right leg over for Agni Sambhasana, or the fire log pose. Both feet are flexed. So when you look down, you form the triangle with your legs. And just take a moment to notice, maybe some little movement allows you to settle more comfortably. And then close your eyes if you wish, or lower your gaze. We're beginning to withdraw other senses to focus on the inner world. If it feels good, you can gently fold, honoring your body's current limitations. And just notice if you perhaps feel grounded, if you feel the connection with the earth, being closer with the legs and the hips close to the mat. So just deepen that sense of rootedness. And breathing in, bring yourself back up. And then gently unravel, transition over onto your back. So using your core, tilt your pelvis back so you can slowly descend. Bring the knees towards your chest and extend the arms out or into a cactus shape. You know, make the best with the space you've got. And then drop the legs to the left. Focus on keeping the right shoulder blade glued to the mat. Your legs are heavy. Breathe into your chest. And with the next inhale, come back to the center. And drop your legs the other way. So see whether it feels better to keep the knees closer towards your right arm or keep them further down. Just register how that affects any sensations of stretch, maybe release. Deep breaths into the chest. And then slowly return to the middle. So extend your arms and legs out or grab any props, like a blanket, meditation, the eye pillows, whatever you need to feel a bit more comfortable. Slide your shoulder blades underneath the upper back to keep the space between the shoulders and your ears open. See if it feels good to keep the palms up. So to demonstrate, kind of embody a sense of being receptive, being open. And tune into your breath. Notice if it flows any different from the beginning of the practice. Scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to your heels, to the soles of your feet. If you encounter any tension or tightness, take a deep breath in and exhale through the mouth, letting it all go. Your mind has the most power in healing. So whether it's your body, whether it is your mind, your perception, your conviction can do half of the job. You know, like the placebo effect. It has been scientifically proven. It's not some hippie woo-woo. But if you really believe that you can do something, you probably can. Then the other side is having that grounded effort, the consistency. Start taking deeper, more conscious breaths in, and whichever way it feels natural, begin to reawaken the body. So introduce some small movements, and then roll over onto one side. Spend a couple of breaths there, reacquainting with your body. Noticing what's different, and then bring yourself back into a comfortable seat. So if you wish to unmute yourself, so we can share the final chant together, then go for it. If you don't, it's perfectly fine. You're still part of the group. And then return to your seat and bring the hands at your heart, close your eyes, And gently bow your head. So in recognition of your effort, thank yourself for showing up. That's the hardest part sometimes. And thank yourself and your body for everything that it's done. Now let's close the practice with one round of Om together. So draw a deep breath in. So feel the sense of inner peace and unwavering, like strength and faith. And open your eyes. So thank you very much for your practice with me today. Namaste. Let me know how you feel today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow will be a little bit more accurate. And I hope that you're gonna come next week so we can, pick up from where we left off today and continue to advance the practice. If you have any questions, if anything was unclear, please do ask me, and I'll be happy to help. And if I don't know something, I'll definitely look into it. So, has anyone got any questions? Nelly, you look super comfy and like you're ready for bed. Are you?
I was doing a bit of meditation before the yoga class because I'm tired of starting yoga immediately from working.
Yeah.
I've got my candles going over here, have a blanket.
Nice.
I might have a bath.
Definitely go for it. I'm probably gonna do the same.
Got it.
Yeah. No, it's. I think it's the same with anything. If you just move from one thing to another, the transition might, without the transition, it might be a little bit too shocking for the system, if that makes sense. Certainly if you just go from your desk to bed, like if you're working late or something, that's probably the worst thing that you can do. So, I don't know, like as much as you can, if you can give yourself a little break before you move from one thing to another, then I definitely recommend that. I'll send you the video from Tuesday with today's practice. Sorry, we accidentally recorded it in 4K, so it's got a whooping size of 30 gig, which took ages to upload, and I think it's still processing the HD version, but it will be really crisp and sharp, so enjoy that.
Okay.
So have a lovely evening. Oh, I see Max is there.
Max has been sitting next to me right through the last courses.
Oh, bless him. Just that, extra bit of mental support.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And have a lovely day, Rosie and Jack, and have a lovely evening, everyone else.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah.
See you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.